Year 11 to the top. I am Anderzbaz and, well, thanks for joining us. As you can see, it is now March and a lot has happened since the last episode where we finished up with the game at the top there against Limby Colliery at the beginning of December. And as you can see, immediately following that last episode, we lost again to our bogey side, Claycross. We lost 2-1 at home, and that closed the gap at the top of the table down to 4 points. And that was getting a bit tighter than we'd hoped. But since then, you can see here a run of form matching that from earlier in the season. Really, it came back in, and we have just been unstoppable since. The form has been unabated. We've won every single game since that defeat. So it's a very similar story to the first half of the season. And as you can see there at the end, an absolutely ridiculous 8-1 victory away at Pinxton, which has left us in a position where we are now just a single point away from securing the title. And even if we lose all 5 games and Claycross win all 5 games, the goal difference is that superior that it would take a miracle for us to lose the title now. We could lose this next game, and as long as Claycross don't win, we are champions regardless. You'll also be able to see that we've progressed really well in both cups. We are through to the final of the Floodlit Cup after a tense 2-1 victory at home to Retford, who are leading the Premier Division North in the Central Midlands League, so there are equivalents in the northern half of the division. And we're also through to the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup as well, which will take place at the beginning of April, with final, I assume, just after the Floodlit Cup as we go into May. But if we get to the final of both, we will bring both final games as well for both cup competitions. So that means that the treble is still well and truly on. If we look off the pitch, we've brought in 6 new players and lost 4 since the last episode. Brought in initially some players to try and improve the depth, and as it's all amateur contracts here, there's a lot of players flowing in and out the side. So natural attrition is just that, natural. The problem we've had is that we've improved the depth of the forward areas, so the strikers and the attacking mids. Kind of lost a little bit of depth in defence, particularly the centre of defence. So we've lost both third and fourth choice central defenders and not really brought anyone in. We've got a few wing backs and full backs. That doesn't really provide that much cover in the central defence. So let's have a quick look at these new players. So first up is Modu Cham, who we've brought in as versatile cover across the front line. So he can play on either the left or the right flank and down the centre as a striker. He's pacey but really lacking that end product. He's 23, so he can still improve a little bit, but he's really been brought in as cover rather than challenging the starting 11. He's currently picked up an injury as well. Made a decent impression in his first few games. He's made 5 appearances, got a goal and an assist. So next up we've got Daniel O'Sullivan, who is a cover for Sesse in the attacking midfielder role. He's got some strong work rate, decent pace, but not really much else. He's another one who's quite young, who's got room to improve, probably not too far away. But yeah, there's not much happening in this technical space. Dribbling's probably his best attribute there. But again, another man to come off the bench as an impact sub. Next up is journeyman striker Sean Batt. He was signed as I was looking at a 2 up top tactic to try and do something a little bit different tactically wise, but ultimately that didn't really go anywhere. So he's kind of a second striker who have been rotating a bit with Salmon up top. He's probably a bit more rounded and definitely got more pace, but he's ultimately a bit less of a threat in front of goal and definitely in the air. So whilst on paper he's sort of a star and a half really, or just a star better than Salmon, and as you look at that comparison over here on the right hand side, he's listed as our best striker, but I'm not quite sure he actually is when it comes down to it. But that being said, he's got 5 goals in 4 starts and 3 subs, so he's definitely not lacking in the goal department. Next we drop to our wing backs. So first up is Dominic Kerrigan, 19, so he's pretty young and he's fast as well. He's a decent threat going forward, but likely his main contribution to the game is going to be a yellow card. Looking at that aggression, he's not the best of defensive-minded fullbacks. So yeah, a yellow card is probably what he's going to bring to the game. He might grab a goal or from outside the box. In his one league appearance so far, he had a great game, a 9.2, and grabbed a goal. So he's promising. And then on the left-hand side, we've got Brett Callow, who is a similar story really. He's a bit more of a wing-back than a full-back. But he's got a little bit more end product, so he's got a bit better crossing, passing, first touch, dribbling all seem to be a little bit better technique as well. So he's probably a bit more end product going forward, and probably a safer bet in defence as well. He's less likely to get himself booked every game. But again, another good player to have coming off the bench or in the second string. And then finally, we've got Teddy Maris, who was brought in because our former captain and goalkeeper Tetek decided to leave after he was dropped out of the starting 11. So he's initially brought in as cover, but probably will get a run as we end the season now. With 5 league games left, he's likely to be not playing in the under-23s, actually playing in the main side. But at 18, he is definitely one for the future. And looking at his stats, he's probably a better shot stopper. He's definitely more eccentric, but he's not quite got the communication of our main goalkeeper Trebes. But he's definitely one who we think will be replacing him, if not this season, if not next season, the season after. He's already on the comparison there, looking like a better player, but we all know that's not the be all and end all. Attribute-wise, he's definitely promising. So we want to see more of these upward arrows than downward arrows here. But yeah, one for the future definitely. And then let's get to today's game then. So today's game is against Teversall Reserves, who are firmly rooted to the bottom of the table. They are not doing very well at all this season. So probably a good game to try and nab a point to take the title, basically. So here we are looking at the lineup for today's game. Injuries have dictated a bit of an odd formation. So Lynch, our centre-back, is out, and we've got no cover. So we did bring in Barnes on a loan earlier in the season. He's not featured at all. He's not the player we thought he was when we signed him up. I don't really feel like bringing him in. I'm more inclined to go with a bit of an odd formation just to see the day out. As you can see, we're going to play with the 3-3-3-1 or 3-6-1 formation. And yeah, it's untested, so let's try it out today. So we're going to go with Trebes in goal. Probably his last start of the season. If we win the league today, he'll be dropped to the bench, and we'll bring in Maris to get a few games under his belt. See if we can test him out before the new season. We've got Callow on the left, Bullock in his familiar right side of defence, with Bergen alone in the centre. And then we're going to try and overload the midfield. So we've got a 3 in the centre of Watts, Gardner and Lowther, all going a bit staggered across the centre there. And then further forward, we've got Jarvis on the left, Lynn on the right, Sesse down the middle, and we've got Bat starting up front with 25 goal man Salmon on the bench. We're going to probably rotate them for the final few games of the season. See if we can get Salmon a bit close to 30 goals. But Bat has proven, despite my initial concerns, that he wouldn't be as good at finishing as Salmon. He's proven to be pretty handy getting those 5 goals in his first few appearances. So we're going to continue to give him a bit of a run out here and see how we get on.
Here we go then. It is the Fieldings hosting the potential title winning game. All we need is a point here today. To be fair, we could get away with losing as long as Claycross don't take any points from their game. That's an early yellow card for Teversall Reserves, and here we go with a first highlight of the game. Teversall moving down their right hand side after a free kick. More out to Sheriff, who can't get a ball into the box. It's knocked back. It's got through to Sharman. Good weighted ball. He's in loads of space. Can he get a ball into the box? He can, but it's dealt with and cleared by Bullock. Out to Bat. Great ball across to Jarvis, who's on the break now. We've got lots of men overlap. Into Watts, who shoots, and it is an early goal. Jack Watts takes the first goal of the game. inside 10 minutes. Great vision, great goal. Let's watch that again. We had, I think, like a 6-on-3 advantage there as we broke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6-on-3. It was inevitable, even though they got an extra man back. There was plenty of space, and Watts put it home to take the lead. And as it stands, we are winners of the Central Midlands League Premier Division South. But there is still 75 minutes to go, so let's not get carried away. Tevsel reserves have got a free kick. It's hoofed forward, but easily dealt with by Treves, who sends it right back. Jarvis now on the left. He's got a man over. He sends it out to Lowther, but no, we've got plenty of so many men in midfield. Lynn back to Lowther. Inside to Gardner, who sends it to Sete. We're just passing it around them at the moment. Watts now here. Goal scorer to Jarvis. Back inside to Gardner. Some lovely passes here. Jarvis on the left in space. Can he get a ball into the box? He does, and it's nodded down. Should have been a goal. Seth, they should have put that away. It was a lovely knockdown by Bat there, but it's not to be this time. And here we are looking pretty comfortable already. The Tevsel have had their chances. They've not had in the highlights, but they've had their chances. Ball's cleared forward again to Bat, who holds it up well, tries to find someone in the middle, and he does. Bergen there, the lone centre-back, plays it through to Watts, and there is another break on here, but our striker is struggling to catch up. Jarvis, oh, a lovely ball to Sese. Can he get there? He does. Oh, and he's hit the outside netting. Oh, but I think he's offside. And we are half an hour in, and it's been quite a quiet game, really. We've had a few chances, obviously that goal in 9 minutes. But generally we are just doing enough. Claycross are drawing, so that's no longer an issue, really. And we're nearly at half time now. Bullock picks up his 5th yellow card, so that's him missing the next game, but we'll bring wholesale changes and get some of the new players that we talked about earlier into the squad for the next few games, blood them in, and here we are, first half. Let's flash the league table up here as well. And that is an unassailable lead, 17 points with 4 games left. I mean, it was never really in doubt today, but at this point it is secured. And as we start the second half, no changes just yet, but here's Jarvis with a free kick. He whips it into the box. Watts is brought down, and that's a penalty. Butterfield pushed him in the back. And here we go, who's stepping up? It's Bergen. Our centre-back is pretty good from the penalty spot. He takes it and he finds the bottom corner, and that's 2. And that puts us out of reach, really, of Tevsel. They've been pretty terrible all season. They've only got 9 points. And we're now on 70, so that shows you how bad their reserve side has been in this league. I think when we get promoted, we may face the first team in the next division, but I'll confirm that as we get there. And as you can see, Claycross are now losing 3-1. So even if we capitulated here today, we are still champions. Here's Jarvis breaking through. Lowther in the middle. Oh, he could have done better. Deflected onto the crossbar. Oh, no, not deflected on the crossbar. I thought the keeper got a hand to it. There we go. Let's bring some changes in as we get to the hour mark. We've picked up a lot of bookings today to maybe ease off tackles a little bit. Out of possession, that's what I'm looking for. Let's take off, get stuck in. Bit less urgent on the pressing. And then here as we get just over 60 minutes, let's make a few substitutions. Watts, despite having the goal, is looking a little bit tired. We've got a lot of midfielders on the pitch, so probably our bench is not as strong as it normally is. We'll move Sullivan on, drop Sese into the centre of mid, and we're probably going to make a few changes to this defensive line as they're all on booking. So Bullock can come off, and we'll bring Pickerel on for Callow. Obviously Bergen has got no choice but to stay on the pitch, as we've got no other centre-backs in the squad. But there are the 3 changes we're going to make now as we get over the hour mark. Freshen up the legs. those two wing backs are probably doing a lot of work covering both the wings and the centre of defence. But as we're cruising towards the full-time whistle now, we won't time waste because we've got a highlight. It's with the Teversall goalkeeper. Advance it forward. Intercepted by Gardner and Lowther, and we really are flooding that midfield. O'Sullivan's broke through and he doesn't quite get the goal. Rano makes the save and it's cleared away. Alright, what we were going to do was time waste a bit more, drop the tempo, and then move from positive to balanced and just slow the game down. And as we've done that, Teversall reserves have got a goal, pulled one back, it's 2-1. I mean, they might have something to work with now, but I still don't really fancy their chances. Sloppy defending, we'd fallen asleep a little bit there and nodded home. 10 minutes to go, we're going to tell Bergin to ease off on the tackles a little bit. Cleared it through there, there's nobody up front, nobody in the defence. It's just hoofed into space, and that is the definition of time wasting. Stebbs will try and work something from the back there. A lovely ball forward to Lambert, who cuts inside. There's no one in there defensively, and we've conceded an equaliser. Maybe we shouldn't have shut up shop as soon as we did. Let's turn it back on. We'll go back to our trusty attacking for the last 9 minutes. That's what we've been playing all season. As you can see here, Lambert nods it down. As soon as he gets past the fullback, there's just acres of space in the middle, and it's no real surprise that they found a way in. This is why we are not playing this tactic when we have the right number of defenders. It's a needs-must situation here. But as we're working it down the left, maybe we'll break. And Sese, who's unfamiliar in the central mid role, we've got the advantage. Gardner to Sullivan, Jarvis. Can we find that last ball? No, we can't. Teversall are going to catch us on the break here. Unless Bergin deals with it, he slid in. Oh, this is good. This is a fantastic save by Travers. I thought we were going to lose to the bottom of the table. We need to really hold on here. I mean, we want another goal, but conceding one is out of the question. As Teversall have got a throw here on their left. Could do with intercepting this ball and knocking it forward and getting a goal. Garner lumps it forward, and I think that is offside. I mean, it's a lovely little nod past the goalkeeper, but he was quite comfortably off. I'm sure we'll see the replay again, but he's not managed to wander back onside. He's yards offside. And we've got 4 minutes of added time. There's not much left to do here. The 2-2 draw will be enough. I mean, it's disappointing that we've been held, but here we are celebrating with the trophy. First season in charge of Mansfield Hosiery Mills, and we have taken the league title with 4 games left. And don't forget, there are 2 cups that we could potentially win as well. And as you can see there, we might have finished on 68 points today, but that is enough. That's the 16-point gap, and even the victory doesn't help Teversall, as they are consigned to relegation. It's going to take 4 more victories for them. I mean, mathematically they still have a chance, but the goal difference and the point difference is going to make it a struggle for them, unless they, perform even better than they have done today. I mean, we've let them off with that leaky defence, but yeah, as you can see, the league title is secure, and that will be it for today. Just the one game, and what a way to end the episode. Join us again next time as we face at least 1 cup final, hopefully 2, but they might be in separate episodes depending on whether we get to that 2nd cup final or not. As always, please like and subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed today's episode, and we'll be back again every Thursday and Monday. So, thanks for joining us, and until next time, I've been Anderzbaz.